All right, so my first time doing a video. Really just wanted to do it because I finished my first sketchbook, and I pretty much said once I finished I was gonna make a video, post every page of it. Sketchbook is just a tiny moleskin. Got this little moleskin because I thought basically that it was gonna be easier to fill up because it was so small. Actually turned out a lot harder than I thought it was going to be because there's not a whole lot you could put on each page, so it kind of restricts you, and I'm not the best at drawing small, so that was another kind of goal for me, was to learn how to draw smaller stuff. But yeah, let's just dive into it. The stickers on it, I went to Japan and kind of just found these stickers as I walked around. This one was on a pole in Shibuya, I believe, and then this one was at a temple, just kind of floating around. I just grabbed them. I took this notebook with me to Japan when I visited. I carried it on me all the time in case, I saw anything I wanted to draw, or on a train. We took the train the whole time, so if I wanted to draw on the train. So when I saw them, I just kind of like slapped them on. All right. First page, didn't really know what to draw. My coworker, who you'll see drawings of later on in the book, was like, "Oh, draw something Day of the Dead." I believe I had already drawn the skull, and then he just told me to draw on the side a Day of the Dead girl, so I did. Didn't really know a whole lot to go with Day of the Dead besides flowers, and I hate drawing flowers, so I kind of drew like a sunflower right here. Didn't really like how the flower came out, but the skull is pretty cool. First time drawing a skull this small. Kind of liked how it came out. You can see the date right here. It's all 1917 when I started. I believe I finished it at the end of 2018, so December. So it took about a year to fill it up. Next page. At work, they also told me to draw the Tapatio guy because we sell chips. I tried to draw him just by looking across, at the stack of chips of him. Kind of felt like he came out like a super Mexican Jake Gyllenhaal. But whatever. This is a little cartoon version of me. Really wanted tacos that day, so just drew me, eating a taco. Got this style. Kind of try to mimic Radagon. Awesome artist. He has a YouTube. He has an Instagram. Go check him out. You got Larry the Fly here. He's from Scotty Young's I Hate Fairyland. Cool character. Everybody that saw this automatically liked this character drawing, so I referred them to the book. I don't know if anybody actually, went and read it, but it's a really great book. This right here is my cousin. He does actually have a handlebar mustache and a top hat and all that. He doesn't wear it all the time, but he does have it. So if you ever see anything with a handlebar mustache, it pretty much is going to be in reference to him. I also do just like handlebar mustaches. I believe I was actually the one that told him he should grow it out, and he did. But if you see that, it's probably gonna be a reference to him. So I saw a lot of scribble art going around, and I just thought I'd give it a try. I believe during this time I was trying to draw every single day to try to, fill it up. That was my goal. But I guess I didn't really know what to draw, so I just kind of like started drawing something I probably didn't like how it turned out. I just started scribbling and then just went and drew a Batman underneath it to, not waste the page. I believe this is when Star Wars Rogue One came out, or maybe it was the other one. I can't remember the actual name of it right now. But I remember I was gonna go see Star Wars, pretty excited, so drew a little me with the Jedi cloak and the lightsaber. Just real quick, I believe this was like literally 10 minutes before I actually went and saw the movie. So I remember these, I have this certain pen that I was drawing all these with at the time that I had really started liking. And I didn't have my stuff with me, just my book. So I tried a different pen, I believe it was like a gel pen, and I just didn't like it. So this was Peter Parker presenting a picture of Spider-Man, and then as you can see, let's just ignore these pages, yeah. And then this little character, totally didn't like it. Let me see, I'll show you underneath though. It's like James Jameson. I hated how he came out. Kind of just, you know, put this over to cover it because I really didn't like it. This right here was of me at work. In this book, I actually do draw a lot of me and this little like character, cartoony character. Just because I really do like this style, and it was something that I never messed around with before. So I try to play around with it more. I was really hungry, so I put food, need food, and like I made him look like a zombie. So underneath this one, okay, if you see these papers, it's most likely because either I forgot my book or I was just super lazy to go get it. Because usually I take my backpack to work, and a lot of this book was actually drawn at work. So if you see these pages, these are like little scrap pages we have at work of just like papers that are no longer needed that we just cut up to this size, which fit perfectly into my sketchbook at the time. So I would just draw on them. Or if I didn't know what to draw and I just wanted to doodle real quick and I liked how it came out, I would just stick it in the book using a paper clip. So that's why there's gonna be a few of these in there. This was a Hellboy. I mean, I didn't super like it, but it was something that was quick. Just do it in there. Okay, so this one right here. This guy actually right here is my friend Edgar from work. Believe you see him maybe 1 or 2 more times in the book. If it's not in this book, it might be in another one. But me and him always work together. He was the one that told me to draw the Day of the Dead girl. Also the Tapatio guy. During this time, he challenged me to a pool game. He swore he was the best, so, you know, I beat him. And this is me just, you know, holding up the pool stick because I had to rub it in his face, you know. He thought he was the best. I beat him. This right here is him. At the time we were playing this game called, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a battle royale game on our phone. We used to play it during work. There was a couple of us that played it, and it went up in a ranking system. I had just got to gold, and I believe he was still silver, so he was super upset about it. So the whole day he was trying to play it to get to gold and just trying to catch up to me. So meanwhile he was playing, I drew him because I thought it was hilarious. He actually got super skinny compared to what he was. He wasn't really big, but he did get really skinny, lost a lot of weight. Real proud of him. So I need to redraw him. He actually left to another place to work, so I don't really work with him anymore, but I did tell him that I was going to redraw him. So this guy was telling me how he wanted a tattoo, a Dragon Ball, and just him talking about it, you know, made me want to draw something Dragon Ball. So I drew Shenron with the Dragon Ball in his mouth. Don't really like how his jaw came out. I kind of ran out of room while drawing it, and I kind of just like try to squeeze in his bottom jaw right there. It doesn't really line up, but I didn't want to just cut it off. I did want to add the bottom jaw so it looks like he has the ball in his mouth. I believe this was like my first time using colored pencil too. People gave me a lot of colored pencils and I just never used them, so I decided to try to use more of my supplies that I do have already. So I took it, used it. It came out alright, not too bad. I went to Panda Express and they gave me, you know, the fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie put the sky's the limit. And a lot of people tell me, you know, like, to try to do more, and I don't. But here I drew, you know, just me looking up at the sky, putting, yep, that's the limit, because I don't really know, you know, what to draw it that day. So that was what I drew. So this is when World War II came out, Call of Duty World War II. And there's this level where it's just, you know, total town that's destroyed. And my cousin was really into, the one that has handlebar mustache, was really into playing hardcore. But the problem with that was that he always got kicked because someone would run in front of him. And he would just, you know, either go out spraying and didn't see us. He would always say we ran in front of him, but he always killed us and we'd get kicked. So, you know, I drew him shooting at us, killing this guy, and then me putting Y cause Y. And, you know, just kind of irk him a little bit more. I believe it was Martin Luther King Day, so I tried to draw a Martin Luther King just from, like, real quick memory. I hadn't drawn people in a really long time, like an actual, like, try to draw them, like, in a live, like, realistic style. I used to do it a lot, like just kind of like quick life drawings of people that I would see around. Definitely need to practice more on that. I felt like I was a lot better before, and I just kind of stopped. So definitely want to get back to practicing that. My other coworker told me his favorite fish, or favorite animal, was a shark. So I drew a shark, kind of like a fishbowl. I was going to draw him behind it, but I never got around to it. Certain people, I feel like, are just super easy to draw because of characteristics. Like, you can make it look like them because they have certain characteristics about them that just make them them. Like my cousin has, you know, glasses and handlebar mustache, you know, and he has a top hat, so you could draw that, make that him. My coworker, you know, he has glasses, he has like this little beard, and you know, you could just, he has like curly hair, like little curly hair, and you could just make it him, like it looks like them. My other coworker, I just didn't know any key features to point out to make a quick drawing look like him. Like, he always wore a hat, but like everybody at my work wears hats, so like it was kind of hard to carry, like to find key characteristics for him. These were just kind of like practice drawing of certain things: eyeballs, lips. Lips kind of like were kind of hard for me. I don't know why, but I always feel like the lips look weird when I try to draw things. Okay, so there's multiple variations of this thing, of Jason, that I have. But this right here was like kind of like a Jason Samurai. These are supposed to be machetes, and then this is supposed to be, you know, like the cabin, Camp Crystal Lake, with the forest behind them, and then the samurai helmet and his mask. I do still kind of want to go back and like actually paint this, but I just haven't really had the chance. But that's pretty much what this was. It was like a rough concept, and honestly, with rough concepts, they kind of change a lot over time. I'll show you later on. I actually have another sketchbook that I was doing at the same time with this, and I'm doing. It's a bigger sketchbook, and that has a concept in there that was from an original rough idea to something that later on kind of doesn't even resemble it. Like, you would never really guess those two were linked. So I'll show you that later. This right here was just a little cartoon bear wearing a California hoodie, looking into a honey pot. I think someone said something about a honey pot, and it just made me, you know, draw this real quick, kind of like college looking bear, you know, probably like a frat bear or something. I don't really know what was going through my mind at the time, but drew that on this little piece of scrap paper, and, you know, kind of just took it home, put it in my sketchbook. So Edgar wanted to draw my sketchbook, and I guess when he was younger, he used to draw this character that was a robot. So this is his robot. I think these are supposed to be headphones. He said he was gonna finish it, never did finish it, but that's what that is. I don't know if you're actually able to see that. I'm also kind of like have this at a weird angle because I got this phone stand and it's the first time using it. So if it cuts off a little bit during things, sorry, still trying to get used to it. It's first time making a video. So this right here, I believe I opened something And I had this piece of cardboard, and then instead of throwing it away, I just started like drawing on it, and I came up with this like old school looking Mario. I don't know why, but I made him holding a pizza. I honestly think I just drew the arm up weird, and I was like, I don't know what to put on here, so I put him holding a pizza and him stepping on a turtle. Like, I totally don't know what was really going on, but it came out pretty cool. The cardboard was actually pretty cool little canvas to draw on. Kind of liked it. Underneath this, I have my other coworker. This guy right here was like an older guy. He had like a long beard. To me, he looked like a straight up Viking kind of guy. But I believe he asked me if I could draw him, like what it would be like to draw him. So one day when we were working, he wasn't paying attention. I believe he was watching the TV. Just kind of drew him. This is what came out. It's kind of hard because I don't like drawing people when they're like, I'm drawing them or they're looking at me. I feel like I get really critiqued. So I try to draw real quick, just, without them realizing I'm drawing them. There's a guy that actually in here saw me drawing him, and he started getting really weird about it, started posing. When I come to the page, I'll explain more on that, but that's him. He always wore prescribed sunglasses, so I drew those on him, his beard. I don't know what was going on this day. I probably got in a fight with my girlfriend or was just feeling down. I don't really know. Just drew like a little character with a paper bag on his face with a drawn on happy face and just keep smiling. So I'm pretty sure I was upset that day. Don't really know what was going on. Can't remember. But from the looks of it, I'm pretty sure it was upset. Use colored pencil. Kind of just try to do some indentations. I don't know if you can really see those. With like a little, I think it was like a gray or something. And just outlined it with like a quick marker. So this style right here, I got from this guy right here. His name is Ombre. He's an artist. Don't exactly know what his name is. I know his name is Ombre on Instagram. But he's an amazing artist. He has a few videos on YouTube. I believe they're by like Iron Lack and stuff like that. But I really like his style. He has like really cool characters. So I try to kind of mimic his style. This one was of him. when I actually posted it, I tagged him in it. I tagged him on Instagram. And he messaged me saying that he doesn't drink beer. So I kind of felt like he got a little bit offended by the beer bottle. So, we're going to just say that it's a Coke bottle or, I believe he said he drinks a lot of tea, but I don't think tea comes in that kind of bottle. So maybe just ignore the whole beer bottle. This guy was just out of pure imagination. I believe it was just like a circle, and then I drew the rest of the face. The little cigarette thing right here was kind of copied from Larry the Flies. Let's see if I could bring that back. It's kind of like the same one he had. I think this style is really cool. I really like that little thing, so I just put it on there, add a little bit of smoke. Again, this was all colored pencil. At this time, I was really trying to use colored pencils. Gave him a little crown. Just, some made-up guy. Totally just made him up on the spot. This guy actually right here was a character that I really liked. I actually wanted to get this mask made in, real life, but I don't have a 3D printer or know anyone that has one. And I tried to find a mask that was kind of this shape, but like blank. So I can make the eyes this shape and then kind of just draw the mouth on, but I haven't found one yet. So maybe in the future I'll find one and actually make this mask. But I wanted to actually do more drawings of this character. I really like happy faces, so you'll see more happy faces in more sketchbooks of mine. I don't know if there's any more in this sketchbook, but I do have more. You can kind of see this right here. This is actually a design I made. I made it into a sticker. That's another happy face, but you'll see that later on. But this guy right here, just kind of drew him real quick. I believe this was all done in like a big pen real quick too. So this right here was supposed to be a Snape. can kind of see the wand right there. I didn't really like it, so that's why I covered it up with this guy. This guy was actually done more towards the end of the book, but when I don't like something, I end up covering it up because, you know, I don't like it. And I believe I had already covered up everything else, like those Spider-Man drawings, so I just put this right here. Some of them don't necessarily mean I don't like them. I think there's like a few in here, or it wasn't really like I didn't really like them. It was just more so like out of everything else, it was like my least favorites. This right here was another like old-timey cartoon version of Rick from Rick and Morty. This was all done also in pen. Didn't sketch with a pencil or anything before. That's why you can see all the rough lines still if you really look. But gave the old, you know, Pac-Man looking eyes. Really rough, but it was fun to draw. Really like this show. If you see this, it's because my coworker put his initials everywhere throughout my book because he would grab my book and tell people he did it. This was the beginning, I believe, of Inktober. I think the word was roasted or toasty, one of those two. So I drew a marshmallow because I couldn't think of anything for it. So just do a quick marshmallow, you know, in flames. I didn't really know how to draw a flame in black ink, so I kind of just drew like the outline and then left it inside. You know, hopefully you can kind of see where I was going for it. Here goes another drawing of me. Again, I was hungry. If you can't tell, you know, I eat a lot. Me thinking of a burger. I tried to draw him looking like he was hungry and drooling, but I feel like he came out looking more perverted than anything. But, oh well. This right here was like a little speaker guy. I don't like how the body came into like the actual box. I felt like it looks a little bit weird, but still was alright. I did get to practice with this color. You know, I got to see how it actually looks put down. I liked the way it looked, so that was pretty, you know, cool. Gotta look at the glass half full, right? Alright, so this was actually like the first week I started working at my job. So it was a long time ago. I was bored. I just kind of like started drawing. I drew this guy. It started off like literally minimal detail. Like it was like him and then his jaw. And then they were like, oh, you know, he looks, this one girl's like, he looks like our manager, Eddie. Add more stuff. So I was like, I don't know what, you know, you need to add because it wasn't supposed to be Eddie at all. So honestly, I don't think it looks anything like him. So I was like, okay, like, what am I going to add? So, oh, and there was the ears. The ears weren't, you know, Eddie doesn't have big ears or anything like that. Those were already added. I think it was just the face and the ears. So I was like, okay, Eddie has like a little beard. So I drew the beard. And then he has a hat. And she was just like, oh, he looks like Eddie. So I was like, really only he looks like Eddie. I drew like a little stick figure body because I was already getting over it at this point, with a little sign saying I'm Eddie. And then I had he always used to say that's fire. So, you know, I wrote that's fire dog. So trying to, you know, make it more like him in a funny way. And then she wrote at the bottom, Eddie the loser. She actually gave this to him, or showed it to him, and he kind of just kept it and put it on his wall. But then he ended up leaving the job, and when he left the job, he just kind of like took it back because I believe he like left almost everything he had there, just, you know, there. Like he just kind of like got up and left. So when I saw it, before I got thrown away, I did grab it, and that's why it's in the book, because before they threw it away. There was a few drawings of them that I did that they did throw away because I would have it on the wall at work and stuff. This, I don't really remember what it was for. I think I was going to draw just a cartoon. I kind of just kept adding on it. So he's kind of like a three-eyed monster with his mouth sewn shut. I felt like his body looked a lot like Mario. I don't know why. I think that's actually why I stopped drawing it like halfway. Like I didn't draw no legs or anything, because I was just like, this looks way too much like Mario's body now. I felt like it looked like a weird like monster Mario, so I just stopped. This girl was just something that I think I wanted to draw like an alien, like, I think I was watching Avengers, and like Nebula and Gamora, how they kind of like look. So I wanted to draw like my own like little version of like an alien chick. So I gave her like green hair, just drew her face real quick. I didn't really know what to draw in the background, but I felt like it looked really empty, so I kind of just drew these circles and colored it in. This is Playboy, you know, the cartoon version of a Game Boy. I think my coworker actually gave me the idea of this too. It was his initials again. I'm pretty sure he gave me the idea of drawing like old gaming systems. So I drew the Game Boy. This right here, I just started playing with marker. I don't think anywhere else in here I used marker yet. But I just started playing with marker. I went and bought these markers. I think they're like Tumbo markers or something like that. As you can see, I didn't get the feel of it at all. You can see all the little lines. So kind of bummed me out that you can see all that. It didn't look as clean as, you know, I wanted it to, but it still came out pretty cool, I think. So this is when we're in Japan now. This little guy right here, I believe my cousin said he had to go to the bathroom. And so I instantly thought of this movie called Rat Race, kind of old movie, where the kid tells the dad and the mom that he's prairie dogging, and he explains what prairie dogging is. So I drew a little prairie dog and some poop, eating corn, because, you know, just had to make it even more gross than it already was. There's this place in Japan called J-Force? Let me see. J-Roll. And it's like all the shonen characters. If you play Jump Force, you know, or you watch anime, you kind of know who they are. It's One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, like a whole bunch of anime characters, but they have this little like theme park in a mall, and you can go in there and you do little like things, it's like little goals and stuff. But one of the rides they have was a One Piece ride, and they had all the characters as goals and, like, you know, kind of like what they're known for. So I don't really watch that anime, so I don't know too much about it, but I know like it had the main character with his straw hat, and I think it had like the cook guy with like some like cooking instruments. So I decided to draw my own. So I drew a skull with a hat on, and then I drew, you know, me with my little goatee and then some art supplies in the background. I didn't really know what to draw. I was gonna draw other stuff besides art supplies, but I ended up just drawing the brush and the pencil. So this was, I believe, a drawing I didn't like at all. I think it actually messed up completely, or I think actually this marker might have inked through. So when it inked through, I just painted over it, and I was going to paint on this page and it just never got to it. And honestly, I kind of forgot about it. I didn't even know it was still in there. I thought the whole book was completely filled up. This right here was going to be just a regular Mario mushroom, but then I was like, well, make my own Mario mushroom. I think there was like a lot of things going around, like kind of like create your own, that I saw a lot of artists doing, where they just like got something that was iconic and they made their own versions of it. So I decided to do a Mario mushroom and make my own version of a Mario mushroom, and I call it the Death Shroom. So it has a little skull with little, you know, circles on the mushroom, kind of go back into the skull. I wanted to make this into a sticker, like put it into like the computer and make it, you know, cleaner looking, give it some color, maybe like black, and then make this, you know, actual mushroom part, the bottom of the mushroom, like a light gray or something. Just, you know, to see how it looks, see if it, you know, would look good enough for a sticker. Never got around to it. I don't have any drawing applications on my computer. So maybe I will get one, start testing things out. All right, so this is the guy I was talking about. He doesn't, he saw me drawing him, so in the beginning it was going all right, and he started really weird posing and like smiling and just staring at me because my coworker told him like I was drawing him, and it got really weird. So I kind of just try to, you know, rush it out real quick because to me it just feels weird. It felt uncomfortable, so I just kind of like wrapped it up. This right here was, I believe it was actually supposed to be a brain killing itself because I was incredibly bored. But then I started telling people, because that sounded super bad, it made me sound suicidal, that it was brain power because it kind of looks like he's flexing. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was the first time drawing a brain. Kind of liked how it came out. Here goes another page that apparently just didn't like. I think I was actually going to draw something here or paint something on this page to see how it fit in the sketchbook, and I just didn't do it again. Here goes my Tupac pigeon. I think I was waiting for something to eat, and I just saw this pigeon, and I was like, didn't draw a pigeon before, gonna draw it. Another day that I just kind of started messing around with my markers. Kind of liked how the beak came out. The rest of it, not really, but a few people actually like this drawing. You know, the whole concept of a Tupac pigeon. A lot of people got it right away. This is when A Nun was coming out. Me and my coworkers were gonna go watch it, and in, you know, celebration of it, I did like a bizarro nun and put the nun. You know, kind of corny, but it is what it is. There's a video on YouTube. Can't remember the name of it right now. I know he has another video called Don't Feed the Freaks. I don't remember what this one was called. But this was the like characters that he has in it. I thought they were really cool. They all wear masks, and then they're all, you know, like judged and stuff. So I made him, and I put ugly across his head because that's actually what they have. Is like things that say, you know, like slut, ugly, skinny, stuff like that, like judgmental things that they mark on them. And they're all supposed to be like old-timey, like, you know, American dream people. So did that. If I remember the thing, I'll try to link it, or at least put the thing on the bottom so you could check out the video. It's really cool. This was actually day one of Inktober. So that other one was like later on. It was just an empty page that I had in the sketchbook. So this actually started out as just an ink drawing. It didn't have any color. But people kept telling me to ink it, and all I had were those Tombow markers, and like you can see, I still really didn't get the hang of it. Doesn't look super bad, but it could have came out a lot better. I actually liked it a lot more as just the ink drawing, but live and learn, live and learn. Alright, so this was an anime movie that I went with a friend to go watch. It was really cool. Kind of just drew the main character's face. His name was Angelino, I believe, so they called him Lino. Drew the title of the movie. Pretty cool movie. I actually heard it's like a comic book. I wanted to look into it. The cool thing about this is when I actually drew it and I posted it, I did like hashtag like the name of the movie, the character, and stuff like that. And the creator of the character actually went and liked the picture. So that was really cool. First time that anything like that's happened. Besides where I tagged the artist and they, you know, comment on it. But a creator of a comic, I thought that was really cool. Kind of, you know, started at this point, you know, still using markers. Kind of gave up pencils at this time. Don't really know why. I think it was just really got into markers. Thought they looked, you know, real clean. This kind of bled through from the apple, so that's what that red mark on his head is. This was during Halloween, you know, Inktober, Halloween. Really liked how this pumpkin actually came out. Felt like the pumpkin looked really clean. The coloring on the markers, I felt like it looked really good. I feel like his arm looks a little small, but it was a real quick drawing. Did it at work, colored it at work. Just wanted to, you know, do something real quick. I believe we actually had a scarecrow up at work, and that's where I actually saw, you know, like got the idea of it. It was just like the scarecrow standing there. Now originally was going to draw a scarecrow, but then I ended up being like, oh, I'm going to give him a pumpkin head because it's cool. I actually got this pumpkin design from a pumpkin that I carved a few years back. It's like the exact same carving. And in the actual carving, he has like, I put sticks in and had him holding other pumpkins up. I'll see if I could edit it where it could actually show the pumpkin and like some of the other stuff I talked about. Like I said, first time doing this, don't really know how to like edit it and everything, but you know, give it my best shot. Try to draw Stan Lee, but I felt like it came out looking like Mr. Feeney. So you know, if you see Stan Lee, it's Stan Lee. If you see Mr. Feeney, it's Mr. Feeney. Era, it's kind of, you know, just when, you know, I was in high school or right after, you know, when I was younger, basically. It's kind of, you know, just something I would write to try to, you know, like see, you know, play around with letters and stuff. I think I was gonna do a drawing. You could kind of see the rough sketch of like a spray can character in the background. I think just kind of, you know, forgot about it. Moved on to the next page to a little ice cream bar that kind of like zombie mode because he got part of his head bitten off. This white part, I believe, is actually supposed to be like the melted cream inside, but I feel like it just looks a little weird. This right here was kind of like towards the end of the sketchbook, and I was just trying to rush through it. So I drew a pencil. What's my favorite word? You know, if you know Too Short, you know the lyric. Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, drew a turkey. I believe I was also at work for this day. I work a lot of the holidays. Yeah. One of my favorite animation shows, The Boondocks. When I was younger, at one of my old jobs, I did draw Huey with the #1 handbag. So I kind of just wanted to go back to that show, you know, kind of like memorabilia, I guess, kind of, but did want to draw the characters, so I drew both of them. I actually liked how they came out and the coloring with the markers on these. Felt like they came out really good. Then I had to draw me. At this point in time, I don't think any other picture has it yet, but I did get glasses. It got to the point where I just couldn't see across the room, and one of my like coworkers, the janitor, came up and he's like an older guy, and I believe there was a soccer game on, and he like was able to read the score and everything, and to me it just looked like little 8-bit characters, and I couldn't read anything on the screen. So I was like, if you could read it, I definitely need to go get my eyes checked. So I went and got my eyes checked, and they were like, yep, you definitely need glasses. So I got me some glasses. So now when you see my characters, I'm gonna be wearing glasses. This is when Hillenburg died, the creator of SpongeBob. So I drew SpongeBob kneeling at the #1 gravestone with Hillenburg's name on it, because, you know, he was #1. Started drawing Snoop Dogg, and I just couldn't get the rest of the face down. I believe someone actually like went and started talking to me, and it made me real self-conscious, so I just closed the book real quick and put it away, and then after that I just wasn't in the mood to draw it anymore. Just quick candle skull on with a candle on top of it. Still trying to work around with markers. Still, you know, still I'm trying to get a feel for it. Little mushroom. This right here, my coworker was actually looking at my bigger sketchbook, which has a lot more paintings and stuff in it, and he was like, man, how much you like changed since high school. Because in high school, I went to an art school, and everyone drew, everyone tagged, everyone did everything except me. I didn't do anything. I was more at that art school for like photography and stuff like that. So when they would go out and draw on sketchbooks, or, you know, be all drawing or whatever they would do, I would kind of just draw either this mushroom or bob-omb. So he was like, yeah, like I remember that's all I used to draw, and it reminded me of it, so I kind of wanted to draw it again, just so, you know, go back and kind of, you know, relive it. I had started liking the shading on the mushroom, and then when I put the darker, I didn't like it as much. I believe I just got a bunch of new markers at the time, and I wanted to try them out. So that's why, like, there's like 3 different colors here, different colors on the grass and everything. I tried to use as many colors as I could on this drawing. this right here was more towards the end of the book. I tried to draw like a demon with a long top hat and like kind of like smoke, like a purplish smoke flame coming out of him. I don't know if you can kind of see the skull, but it could have went a lot better with it. Kind of just got lazy at this point in the book. It was towards the end of the book. Kind of just wanted to get it done with. I forgot what these birds are called, but one of my friends told me that she really liked these birds. I looked them up and I was like, oh, they're pretty cool. So I kind of just, you know, drew them real quick. And then, yeah, that's the end of the sketchbook. All done. Don't think there's really anything in here. Yeah, there's nothing really in there to show off. But yep, it's the end of the book. Hope you guys liked it.